This year, we're also revealing our R26 F1 Concept car.
The elephant is in the room.
Yes, exactly. This beautiful car here. And
thank you so much for joining here today, Vito.
yeah, thanks for having me,
have
Stephen.
We're here today at the Canadian International AutoShow 2026, where you're going to be debuting some amazing vehicles, and I'm so excited to chat a little bit more about it.
Yeah, exciting times at Audi. Coming to Audi Haus, obviously revealing some new concepts, but having all our new cars here as well and our full portfolio.
You're back here. It's a second year, the return last year. Tell me a little bit about what's going to be different. What can people expect this year?
Yeah, we're super excited. So last year was the start of our biggest product offensive. So we launched Q5 and A5 was a big deal for us, really important models. This year, it's in the middle of our product offensive. So we're launching Q3, which is our second most popular model. But it is a little different because we always want to show a version of the brand as we come here, our identity. And so last year, we wanted Audi Haus to the display itself to reflect the brand, and we're doing that again. But this year, we're also revealing our R26 F1 Concept car.
The elephant is in the room.
Yes, exactly. This beautiful car here. And it's a big deal because it gives everyone an insight of what the Audi brand's all about beyond just the product portfolio and what you see on a daily basis, but our motorsports heritage, which goes extremely deep. It's over 100 years.
And tell us a little bit about the concept.
Well, first of all, I think the car has to reflect, the paint we use is particular. It kind of connects to the Concept C that we just launched. The colors that we use are in particular for F1. But it's also just the whole journey. Beyond the car, it's naming the drivers, putting the team together. Audi's been such a dominant motorsports brand. When you look at what we did on Rally, what we did at Le Mans, what we did in Trans Am. And so now all of a sudden we have the courage to do something completely different with F1. But that whole journey and documenting it from day one is also extremely special beyond just the car itself and everything that goes around it.
And why now?
It's a great question. So F1 is changing its technology rules. So the car will be half ICE and half electric. It'll use biofuels. So when you look at the brand, of course, we use our signature often, and it's called Verschwunder Technique. What does that mean? It's about building progress and living progress. And when you look at motorsports, that's how we've used motorsports for the last 100 years. It's always allowing us to try different things and evolve our technology. Now with F1 being really the tip of the spear of motorsports, and with technology changing so much, it will allow us to test so many technologies that we feel will definitely go into future Audis.
I feel like no better time, right? With everybody being so hyped up about F1 with the movie and the series, right?
For sure. Yeah, it's such a great global circuit, right? A global property. You're right about Netflix. In North America in particular, it's really grown some momentum. It's always been popular. Like when you go to Montreal, the Grand Prix has been incredible, but I think it's gone beyond racing. One of the things that this property allows us to do is it continues to allow us to show the lifestyle side of Audi, hanging out with the brand and at the Grand Prix in Montreal. You're going to experience the brand at the race for sure, but there's also going to be different activations where you can really just let the race aside for a second until tomorrow, right, the next day, and enjoy the brand, enjoy events, and really just engage with whether it's Audi fans, Audi customers. We're going to try to really activate that whole city for us in many different ways, where you can feel that Audi Canada is definitely in Montreal.
So a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
This is pretty epic. I mean, it's going to be in Toronto for the first time. I mean, you're hitting the track like in 2 weeks?
That's right. We're going to be the first F1 race is less than a month away.
Wow.
This is technically at the Toronto International AutoShow, our first reveal, official Canadian reveal. We've started to obviously reveal all over the world. But yeah, it is a big deal. And it's, again, really, you're going to have people come to the show because they want to see a particular Audi, or they want to see the display, or they want to interact with our entire portfolio. But you'll build fans from experiencing this car and understanding our journey is beginning. And so when you see the first race, or when you watch the Montreal Grand Prix, you're starting to feel to come from day one in that whole journey. yeah, it's a wow moment. It's a wow moment for us, and we think it's a wow moment for a lot of our fans and our customers. But when you come to, let's say, an Audi
I
activation,
think one thing that a lot of people don't quite realize, it's not just the first race, but then the trucks are already going to the next stop after that. And how many versions of the vehicle will there be in rotation?
well, that's a great question. You know, that goes probably beyond my expertise. The actual cars themselves are extremely, expensive vehicles, but we have to compete. You're right about the whole logistics, technology, engineering. You're constantly looking at how you performed in the race, and then you're making adjustments in race for the next race. Every track, every race is different. It is incredible, and it's open spec. So that's the beauty of F1. It allows you to use technology and to make it an advantage and find ways of how to evolve. And when you come new to the race, to F1, you do have to have the courage to put your hat in the ring. That's the first step, and that's always been Audi. You know, when we started Rally, when we started Le Mans, and now we're doing it with F1, and this is just the beginning. We're going to learn a lot, but we're going to keep getting better, and it's going to be an amazing journey.
Audi Haus was such a hit last year. It was definitely one of the highlights for sure. And I mean, this is a big step up from last year, having it available here, but how else can, guests expect that you've elevated the experience?
Yeah, I think when you interact with different parts of the Audi Haus, we've tried to display different elements of our portfolio. So we have our S models, for example. In one section, it's telling a particular story. As you enter, you'll have the newest Audis that we're just launching. We'll show you a little bit of the aerodynamics of the all-new A6, of course, the racing component. And you are right, we see the Audi Haus as an extension of our brand. Auto shows can have a tendency at times to be a little bit cars and carpet, and as you go from brand to brand to brand, you kind of lose sight and it just becomes a sea of cars. Then when you come into Audi Haus, you will feel like you're in an immersed Audi experience. And that's a part of our goal, is really to feel Audi when you're kind of interacting in this closed environment, and as you leave, you feel like you've left.
And I know we've talked about sustainability in the past a lot. How does the sustainability factor in your latest vehicle lineup, from performance to design?
Yeah, really important. So even if we just talk F1, because you don't normally think sustainability immediately, but with the powertrain being half electric and half ICE, to be using biofuels, that's really important. That's already starting to allow you to invest and test on, race on Sundays on that technology and bring it to its limits. And then we're a full portfolio brand, so we're really proud, whether it's ICE or whether it's electrification, every segment's represented. And that is important because while the technology is there, you need to make sure that customers, they have preferences. And some customers are going to preference SUVs or sedans or electrification or ICE. And if we see it as our responsibility to make sure that we have that technology for all of our customers or potential customers.
So for someone coming down, what are the must-see and experiences at Audi Haus this year?
Definitely the R26 Concept F1 car. If you want to see Audi's most powerful ICE, we have the RS Q8. You have to see the Q3. I think it's technically not in market yet. It's just weeks away. So the all-new Q3 is a must. And I think you'll see us level up that segment. It's already the segment leader. It's absolutely leveling it up. But every car we have has been fairly new, whether it's new for a few weeks, like A6 was just launched a few months ago, or we have some derivatives that have just entered the market. So everything is fairly fresh. We didn't bring product that has maybe been in the market for a year or so. We've brought more products that have just kind of been launched or recently launched.
Correct me if I'm wrong, is the Q3 going to be available for test drives?
That is correct. So yeah, it's kind of like you get to see the new Q3 maybe before it hits dealerships, and then you also get to get into the car and experience the drive quality. And it is, again, we've tried to make sure that the drive quality also matches the new technology we've put in, the new fit and finish. I think our customers or potential customers are going to be really excited.
So what's the vibe you want guests to walk away with after leaving Audi Haus?
I think when they leave, we want them to feel like they know the Audi signature. They can see that, our whole belief in Vorsprung technique, living progress, how we represent ourselves was consistent. I think there's nothing worse than for a brand to interact with customers and fans, and then it feels a little inconsistent of what you say you are. What we say we are, I think when you come to Audi Haus, you're definitely going to feel it, whether through our cars, whether through the display, whether through even just how we interact with patrons. I think you're really going to feel the brand.
There's some rumblings out there that some people say that auto shows haven't really evolved very much over the years. But I beg to differ. I'm curious to hear, like, what do you think?
Yeah, that's been I think shows there was a time where I think that was a fair critique. And I think if you look at the Toronto International AutoShow, where now, like you mentioned, that you can do test drives and different types of test drives, we're launching things that are not necessarily, you cannot buy. I know many would like to. You can buy an R26 Concept F1 car, but all of a sudden it is your first opportunity before the car does its first race to actually see what this is all about. So I feel like how the show's evolved, at least for us, is we're trying to show, other than just display, car display, interact with the vehicle visually, you can touch it, feel, which has always been something. You get to see a car for the first time before it's in market, but you also get to see different things from the brand in different immersive experiences in a way that perhaps you haven't seen just yet, and makes the show more unique.
And in one word, how would you describe Audi's presence here at the CIAS 2026?
I would say progress. That's our brand signature.
And what kind of message does debuting the R26 at CIAS send to the Canadian market?
Yeah, I think what it does is it says that, of course, come for great products. I don't think anyone comes to an auto show not expecting to look at products and, you know, your product portfolio. But I think what it says is, hey, let me understand Audi a little bit more. Let me see something cool that perhaps, you know, not everyone has seen just yet. And I think when you start to use the show to reveal things like this car, it starts to become more about a brand experience than just a car show. Car shows are great, but I think, you know, if we can help evolve in any way, you start to use these different platforms to give customers a different element of the brand's personality as you're interacting with different parts of the actual display at Audi Haus.
And is there a performance car in this year's lineup you feel reflects your motorsport DNA the best?
Anything with an Audi, any Audi Sport car, anything with a red rhombus does. It doesn't get the red rhombus if it doesn't. So there's so many. Like we have, I mentioned the RS Q8. It is the most powerful Audi ICE that we've ever had.
Wow.
The RS3 is a really popular vehicle because it is sporty. It is more about sporty handling. The RS Q8 is an amazing car, but it's a big SUV. I think anything with an RS badge certainly is our pinnacle for performance. But Audis in general, like, you know, road feel and how, you know, driving dynamics, it doesn't become an Audi if it doesn't have and share these elements. Even the all-new Q3, which is not a performance vehicle, you will feel performance and how it manages the roads in a SUV premium side of things. But it is absolutely different than maybe what you experience in another vehicle.
And in terms of design, the R26 is also one of the first public expressions of Audi's new visual identity. What's the story behind this aesthetic evolution?
So the colors, the paint selected kind of ties into some of our future products. And we just launched the Concept C, which was a concept car showing future Audi design language. And so that there's a connection there for sure. Ensuring that there's also certain colors that we've used that are particular for F1. You know, having the red rings, for example, that in that color is very particular to F1. So there's different elements. Of course, there's engineering elements that are particular for the technology side, right? It's beyond just design. But we've tried to ensure that there's specific signatures while also connections to the current Audi brand.
Have you gotten in there?
Oh, if I got in there, I don't know if I'm coming out, but no, but I've gotten around it quite a bit. It's when it arrived at our offices, this is when you know you got something special. When, you know, team members stop what they're doing and everyone's collecting and we can't get enough of it. And so there's a lot of excitement. It's bringing this dream of competing in F1 for a brand to reality. And this is the example of it.
And beyond F1, because I'm sure that's at the pinnacle of the excitement, but what excites you most about Audi's next chapter beyond that?
Yeah, I think it's our entire journey. So Canadians have really fallen in love with Audi. So from a business perspective, we've been the #1 premium brand for many years now in Canada. That's special to us. And yet now we're doing that and there's an all new product portfolio. We, you know, brought some new models. It's the core of the Q5 is absolutely the core of our product portfolio. Q3 is obviously a big deal now. It's our second best selling car, but now you're gonna start seeing things in other segments like Q7 and Q9, completely different segments, but kind of closing the entire portfolio. And we still Audi Sport is a very, very important portion of our portfolio. You don't do F1 without continuing to invest in Audi Sport and our red rhombus and our RS vehicles. And there is a new generation, as there's been a new generation of Q models and A models, there is a new generation of RS models coming, and that's going to be really exciting.
And what's your day-to-day Audi vehicle?
Right now, I am driving an RS Q8. I'm going into a new A6 ICE that we're just launching. Yeah, we just launched about a month ago. I really try to get into the entire portfolio, which, it's one of the real joys of obviously being in the brand. So I don't think there has been an Audi that I haven't driven. Looking forward to when the Q3 arrives, we'll do the same. And then, of course, we have some new SUVs at the end of the year as well.
Is there a favorite?
They all do different things. I know that's the cop-out. I know that's the cop. It really is. It's like
we all have a favorite child.
Yeah, we do. I would tell you, I love the performance cars. So you can't not like an RS model. They're so much fun. The torque, the performance. So anything RS is really exciting. Mm-hmm. But then every model serves a different purpose. Like the Q5 has a purpose. A5, the styling of A5 has been such a design leader for so long, and having S models and future RS models. I think when you see some of our other derivatives coming, completely stunning. So there's just every model, depending on what you're talking about, can be special. But then there's the underpinnings of it. Like when you have Quattro, it allows every type of product to do certain things, and yet that's the one common thing, that we are a brand that can navigate the functionality of Canadian winters. And really get in there and enjoy it. You can really drive Audi a Quattro technology and enjoy, navigating maybe some of the bad weather we get as Canadians, but then clean up and be an incredible premium vehicle. And that's what I love about Audi. Every segment, every model has some common, obviously, traits and USPs that are common, but then there's so much to enjoy in the entire portfolio as well that's different. And
a favorite color?
I get accused of liking black too much, but I love, of course, some of the new grays that we have. Daytona gray is also a really big Audi thing. I think it's been a color in our stable. And then when you go back in time, if you start looking at some of the Nardo blues that we had, you start to think RS. Again, not a cop-out, but I think certain colors kind of remind me of certain things, and including when you think of R8. And you have the blade there, carbon fiber. That also brings a lot of history into the brand. So I think there's different aspects, different colors, different types of design elements that bring a connectivity to our past. Because I get accused of liking black too much, so that's a good example.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It was great chatting.
Thank you so much.